Welcome to the Austin Forum Upload, the podcast of the Austin Forum on Technology and Society. I'm Jay Boisseau, the Executive Director and founder of the Austin Forum, and I'm here today with a longtime Austin tech leader and Austin Forum attendee, who I'm happy to finally get on a podcast, Samuel Alexander, the CEO of Concept to Consumption. Samuel, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
So, Sam, before we jump into the topic of the day, which is how fashion is also a technology business and how your company is leading the way in that, why don't you tell our audience just a little bit about yourself and how you got into both technology and fashion?
Well, Jay, it's a long story. I started out in the industry in school. I was studying business and computer science, but back then we had punch cards. That's how long ago it was. And I went to work for Levi Strauss. And we actually had laptop computers in 1975 that we could actually connect to our mainframe. It was a coupler on it, and you put the phone in it, and we could dial into the mainframe. So we were able to write orders and do production and check emails and all that type of stuff back in 1975. And since then, there has been no one in the industry that was offering those kind of technologies for our industry because we're such a niche industry. But on the other side of it, we're a $2.5 trillion industry. So I decided at one point to develop my own software for the industry. I had a company called Cyberlink, and we developed the first Microsoft software for the fashion industry. And that was all proprietary systems. And when I saw SQL Server develop, then I realized that things were changing. So I moved everything to the cloud. So we developed our first cloud servers in 2001. And wow. We had our first cloud servers in 2001. We had our own systems. I actually spent the money on the SQL Server and all the whole story, the deal behind that. We were running Dell Edge servers on the back end. So that was in 2001. And I went through a divorce, lost everything, had to start over. And I had launched and built out a complete platform for e-commerce and the production end of our products from concept to consumption. And after 5 years in divorce court and losing everything, I had to start over completely because the technology was old by the time we finished up the divorce. So one of my friends at IBM said, Sam, why don't you go ahead and finish your project? And so it's been 2017 that I decided to go back to work on it and finish it up. So right now we have a complete ecosystem. We have an ERP, PLM and CRM system built on the foundation. We built in video conferencing and all the attributes that you need on the end. So you have a complete ecosystem that a company can come in right now. And what we do is API companies in that are, you asked me earlier before we got on about the issues that we were having. There's a bridge right now that has to be built between the fashion industry and the technology industry. The technology industry doesn't understand the fashion industry, and the fashion industry doesn't understand the technology industry. So what I hope to become is that bridge for those industries. And we built out a lot of technology already to be able to accomplish that. We're also focused in on nanobiotech products. We're looking at smart networks, smart products, and the complete smart cities integration of our products. And that's where our main focus is on product development now. And we just actually had a product that was on the launch in NASA in December. We did the undergarments for NASA in December for a launch there for paraplegic astronauts. Wow. So there's a lot of things going on. Yeah. And it was actually featured on Good Morning America. And the fiber, basically, we can actually take the body heat from your body, and we have a carbon fiber that turns it into far infrared and redirects it back into your skin. It reduces your cortisol level and increases your nitric oxide level.
Wow. So you're really involved in not just tech and fashion, but bioscience as well.
Bioscience and nanoscience also.
Yeah. So this is all fascinating. How did you get interested in the fashion part of it, though?
Levi Strauss, when I was in college, came and they had these EEOC programs that they couldn't find blacks that were qualified for the programs that they had available. And they were on the mandate by the government to take and have blacks incorporated into the corporate world. And so they pulled me out of college at Texas State in my junior year and sent me to their school in San Francisco. And it was probably the best move that I ever made because I got to actually go in and start and learn from the cotton fields all the way through to the end of the production cycle. And then they had IBM come in and do PSS, professional selling skills for us, which at that time it was like $40,000 per person to get those courses done. And it was, so it was a major move for me to make that move, but I was the best move I ever made in my life was going to work for Levi. And that's where I got really introduced into more technology because they were the leaders in technology at that time. And so, like I said, we had laptop computers in 1975 that we could dial into the mainframe with.
I'm assuming they were more like portable computers than
Well,
true
there were couplers. You
laptops.
had a coupler, you dialed in. Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember those.
But
Yeah.
we had all the access to our inventories. We could write orders, and actually, it made us so efficient that our production would sell out in less than 5 minutes.
I never knew that Levi Strauss was a leader in the back office side in technology. So this is fascinating for me. I've been wearing jeans forever, but I never, and Levi's one of my favorite brands. And I just never really dawned on me that there was that much tech, especially back, you said 1975?
75.
Wow.
And Jay, the problem with most people look at our industry as a fashion show industry, and we really have very little to do in that part of the industry. It's all about the science of the industry from the processes that we use to do like right now, I've got a fiber which we're actually creating a hemp fiber, and we've got 2 patents on it that we can degum it and make it like silk. And we're combining it with the fiber that I was just talking about a minute ago. And it'll be incorporated in many products from beddings to sheets to linens, everything.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about the technologies that you're currently using now in concept to consumption, or C2C, as I see you abbreviate the company name a lot.
Right. C2C, fashion and technology is actually the corporate name, but C2C stands for concept to consumption.
Okay.
And what we basically are focusing is we actually are creating products, and the terminology that we use for is utilitarian. The customer right now, since the pandemic, has changed completely. They now are looking for a quality of life instead of a quantity of life. So we're developing clothing that have a life cycle to it, and we have the ability to monitor from the raw materials all the way to the recycling of the raw materials in the life cycle of a product now. And we use that RFID chips and QR codes to be able to do that.
And so what technologies are you using in your full stack of concept to consumption?
To consumption. I'll start out with first thing we started out with AR, VR, MR, XR, and it's all combined. And we have the actual mirror that you can try the products on. We also have artificial intelligence, which will actually suggest and find products for you throughout the internet. We can scan you.
So stop just 1 second. I want to make sure I got this. So you start with a person being able to look in one of your mirrors and use AR, VR, and XR to determine how they might look in something. And then AI is being used for suggestions for things that they can now see how they might look in it in the mirror. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay.
And it'll go and find the products for you throughout the ecosystem of the internet and bring it back and suggest it to you. And as it learns from you clicking on the products you like, then it redefines offerings to you.
So, and then what's the next step?
The artificial intelligence we just talked about with the machine learning on the back. And then we do bots and robots in the factory. We have one out of 3 advanced manufacturing facilities that we built here in Austin. Gerber Technology partnered with us on it. They gave us $13 million. The city gave us another $1 million, and ACC took on the project to help us develop it. And it is one of 3 in the world.
Oh, I want to take a tour of this facility, Sam.
Right. Sure. Well, anytime. So that's one. And we've got a second one that is about to be finished in Detroit. And so I've been working with the Department of Commerce. They're the ones that introduced me to the people in Detroit. They came here and saw what we'd already done, and they couldn't believe how far ahead of everyone else we were already.
Wow. Okay. So now what technologies are you using in the selling of these products? Now that somebody has seen themselves in this advanced mirror and has gotten some recommendations provided by AI, what's the next step?
We're using a lot of predictive analytics as far as being able to know what the customer wants before they even know what they want, because we have the ability to put trend forecasting on top of the products that they've already given us some information that they like. Then we can add trend forecasting and take them to the next level in their purchasing of their products. So we can offer them products that they don't even know exist and offer it to them on a trend basis versus just buying something off a rack.
And let's talk about the manufacturing. Where are these and how are these clothes manufactured? Is there any advanced technology in the manufacturing part of these clothes?
My largest partner right now is in China, We have 3,000 workers in our factory. We have software that will scan you on a mobile app. I can scan you. It'll scan your body head to toe, and then it will take the numbers that you give us and incorporate it with artificial intelligence to do a fit for you. Then you can actually go onto our software and pick the products that you like, custom design it to your exact specifications, and then 7 days later it's made, and 3 to 5 days later it's at your front door from China.
That is fascinating. So how big a business is this? I mean, in terms of annual gross revenue or something like that?
We are on just the frontier of it. So it's just a few $1,000,000 right now. It's nothing major. But as we move forward with the problems that we've had with logistics, as you already know, and most people don't realize, but the Panama Canal has dried up down there. There's 200 ships sitting there that can't come through right now. They're backed up now. There's just a lot of things going on globally with the war and everything else that is going to really affect that we have to be able to reshore everything back to the U.S. And that was my focus, is reshoring, because we were already having trouble in China. And so the big problem that I see right now and what we're focusing on is using hemp to reshore with, and hemp will be our main product to reshore and use it as a base fabric. And there's over 50,000 products that you can develop from hemp.
Wow. So you're doing some advanced manufacturing with materials in the form of hemp and some things you're doing with hemp to make it
integrating
and whatnot.
Right.
You are using the advanced technologies to help people decide what they want to buy and be able to customize it. Is there anything, any other technologies in here that our listeners would want to know about, who are, we're constantly teaching them about AI and blockchain and IoT and things like this? Or
we've been using and developing AI for the last 10 years. So we've got kind of a head start on everyone. We've already integrated our own chat GTP into our main platform. And basically, it's designed specifically for our company. Anything that you want to ask it about our company, we'll be able to answer. We're about to integrate the communication part where your avatars will be able to communicate with you back and forth with the chat. So there's that, the main part. And we're looking at robotics in the factories right now. There's all kinds of 3D design that's being done. I mean, you can basically create your own designs, and the factory here. Once you have the design created, then it will run it through and adjust the actual fit of the garment to your size on the production floor.
Now, how are people creating their own designs? Are they using?
We have a software program that you can go in and pick your design and actually design it from scratch. You can tell it what type of buttons you want, how many buttons you want, what kind of fabric you want, all that stuff. We have 100 trillion SKUs that you can pick from.
Is it using generative AI to create the imagery of the clothes, or is it using interpolating between a bunch of different options?
We have different options on the front side of this now. The AI is being only used on the back end for the CRM, customer service, and then on the front end for the user to interface with the system. As far as the production aspect of it, there's not a lot of artificial intelligence used in the production part of it.
Got it. So what do you think is next for your company? And do you think that is this something that you plan to license to other companies to change the way that they make, design, and sell clothes?
What we work on is decentralized collaboration. We're building an ecosystem where people can come in and become a part of the system. Right now, a designer, it takes $250,000 minimum for a designer to start a line and just get it up and running. And with our new system, they can start a line and have it up and running in less than a week. So there's just so many new things that we'll be able to do that'll help newcomers. And what we look at is how to create cost-efficient products now that are sustainable. And our main focus is carbon credits and on the back end. So we're looking deeply into Web3 on the carbon credits right now. So that would be the back end of our software. Then we're also doing the multiverse instead of metaverse, where we're using AR to be able to create virtual stores that people can actually shop for their products in and be able to have a digital wardrobe and a physical wardrobe with NFTs.
Wow. So you're really using all of the advanced technologies, all the ones
everything
that are,
we're using. Yeah, we're using as fast as it's coming out, we're developing it.
All right. So tell me what your quantum computing play is, Sam.
Well, that's a little bit far out of my league. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
All right, I had to find ones you weren't using yet. Okay.
Most of my partners are multinational companies. I work with a lot of the universities that I work with. And then we have partners in Switzerland, in Italy, Germany, even Russia have partners now that we've developed software in those countries. And our main software development team, there's over 500 guys on our main team. And then we have probably another 20 different development teams that are anywhere from 5 to 50 guys.
And where are your developers? Are they in the US? Are they scattered around the world? Are they in
all over the world?
countries?
Most of them, the bulk of them right now are in India because a lot of what we're doing is just maintenance and customization now.
All right. And what do you see as the next steps for your company?
At this point, it's just a controlled growth because there's so many things going on that you don't want to grow too fast because that'll put you out of business as quick as not having enough business. And we pretty much pick and choose our customers, so we don't really have to worry about the business. They come to us. And right now, we've got 2 projects that we're working on, the one I told you about with the fiber. And then I'm working with another company out of Toronto that is developing a heart rhythm product that will monitor your heart rhythm and then use artificial intelligence to do analytics on it.
I'm really interested in that one about monitoring the heart rhythm. We're starting to see more wearable devices. I mean, I'm wearing my Apple Watch right now, and it's got various sensors in it. I bought a sleep mattress cover that monitors sleeping and things like that. But it always struck me that your clothes are the logical device to really measure your movement, your heart rate, your perspiration rate, things like your temperature, et cetera. Are you moving into that space where your clothes will be health devices as well as fashionable?
We are focusing on preventive medicine. And so what we want to do is use artificial intelligence to give you analytics that'll tell you what will possibly go wrong with you before it happens, so that you can address it before it becomes an issue and becomes catastrophe medicine. So our focus is to give you information and give you ways of preventing your health from going down.
And so what kinds of conditions are you looking at first? And how are you doing it? Are you building sensors into the clothes?
Into the products, as far as the sensors are being built into the products, yes. And we have GPS built into like motorcycle jackets that will tap you on the shoulder and tell you which direction to go. We got hot and cooling fibers that adjust to the temperature. We've got all kinds of different fibers and things that are coming into play right now. We're doing cactus leather out of Mexico. We've actually got a factory, a facility there that's developing cactus leather products for us. So we're going completely sustainable, but we're looking at the nanobiotech aspect of it, how to really focus in on that area. You're not going to have your smart cities. Somebody has to build the products for the smart cities, and that's our focus. And that's where right now in the smart products, it's projected by the year 2028 to be $150 billion industry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge growth potential right there, just in that one area.
Are we going to get to a point, you think, in the next 10 or 20 years where most clothes are smart clothes and that do something besides just look great and have been designed in innovative ways, but actually have some function as well, besides coverage?
we're already there. And that's why I said utilitarian, because your clothing will become a part of your lifestyle and it'll function within your quality of life. And it'll give you a better quality of life. And that's our focus now. So there'll be sensors to monitor pretty much everything. And with Web3, as you already know, your data will be with the autonomous technology, everything's going to move to you being able to own your own data. So that'll help too. And with stable diffusion technology, with the compression capacity that it has, it's going to really change the way the internet works, period.
Well, Sam, this has been fascinating. Thank you for giving us this quick update on what C2C fashion and technology is doing. How can our listeners find out more about this? First of all, what's your share your website URL with our listeners? It's
the number 2 consumption.com. And that'll take you into all of our other divisions. And we have another 8 divisions that are listed there. And it'll take you through all the different areas where we focus in, from the production all the way through to the technology aspect of it.
All right. And you have a space here in Austin, Texas. Can people come and see that space if they happen to be in Austin in their factory?
The facility is by appointment only, and it's at the ACC Holland campus. That's our main facility here in Austin now. And it's called the ACC Fashion Incubator there.
Well, I'm definitely going to make an appointment to come see that, Sam. It sounds fascinating. And thank you for coming on the Austin Forum Upload. I've been meaning to do this gosh, it must have been for a few years, and then a pandemic happened, and then various other things. But I'm glad you came on, and I'd really like to make sure that we share. I'm glad you shared that URL with our listeners. I'm going to try to take a tour of the place, and let's see if we can't plan something in 2024, which is about tech and fashion, as one of our big monthly events.
Well, we have there's no silos in any industry anymore. It's all about decentralized collaboration, and people understand IoT. And our goal is to become the foundation IoT of connecting everything into one complete ecosystem. And so that's what we're focused in on as far as the future.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us, Sam. Look forward to seeing you in person again soon and to finding out more about the progress of your company.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Austin Forum Upload. You can listen to additional episodes and check out a schedule of our monthly in-person events at austinforum.org. The Upload is a production of the Austin Forum on Technology and Society, a nonprofit organization here in Austin, Texas.